Hello and welcome to Devlog 2. And today in this version we've kind of gone more in a direction of making more levels and making more of a mood for the game, creating the Ambiance, which is the version name. So I'm going to show you the motion kind of board I created for the game, and let's go from there. Okay, welcome back. I'm gonna show you the latest build of the game. This was I just literally built it for this video, so there's a couple of flaws, but there's also some things that I want to show, such as the titular ambience of the game, which is a sound designer friend of mine named Jonathan. He's been working on this. He's put in a lot of work already, it feels like. So I'm gonna show you kind of the level 3 of the game and show you kind of where we're going with this. So as you can see, throwing items has been implemented. We still have a bit of jankiness with how far things are thrown and how they react upon the monsters. But I think it's nice, and we're probably going to add an effect that items get destroyed when you throw them, which gives kind of that survival aspect to the game, which we want. So you can't just pick up the same rock and just throw it at the monster till it dies. Here you can see some lava, which is an introduction of the next level scheme, which is caves. And you can also see here a moving platform, which uses the same elevator system, which ends and starts levels. But because of how it's made, it can also be used to do pretty much any direction just from point A to B. The only negative is it can't be used to create more points, but we'll have to manage with that. Here we come upon a door. And when you're looking at an unlocked door, you will see that it won't show you interacting with an object. It won't show that you will interact with the door directly, which gives some context as you don't need an item for this. And that is going to be for pretty much every unlocked thing. So if you can open it without a key or without an item, it's probably going to show just like that. The only kind of one case I can come up with right now is the levers, which were just introduced to the game. They have a bit of grammatical problems, but we're fixing that at the moment, so it's literally just changing a string, so that's fine. You can see the new textures for the mosquito enemy. One thing I've started using a lot is circular design, which is that when you go through a level, you will kind of loop around a lot. So you will see an area which you recognize, but you can do new things in that area after going through a separate one. And I think it's good because it allows me to be very economical in resources, and also allow me to do some pretty cool things, which is that you immediately see the difference you've made, like the big steel gate, which you'll open in this loop. Combat is going to be introduced. The player doesn't even have functioning health at that point. And weapons and other equipments are also going to be introduced, as well as magic runes. So that's something I look forward to. Coming up here, we're going to see a debug where I've deactivated the enemies, the movement and the AI of them, just to show you kind of the models, as well as to show that right now you can just kind of pick up and throw items on enemies until they die. and it's not that it's janky when it doesn't damage them. It just checks for collisions, and if it doesn't collide with an enemy, you see it died, and if it doesn't collide with an enemy, it will deactivate the damage it does. So if it hits a wall or another item, it will deactivate the damage. Here's the mosquito enemy flying. I'm gonna make the wings flap a bit faster because it doesn't match the sound, but I really like it. But I still need to give an attack animation. Here's the lever which I just introduced. So you can pull it, and it will open a door or do pretty much anything it wanted to. And if we continue down this path, we will first encounter a silverfish. That's what they call in the game, at least. And if you go down there, you will see that, oh, it's the drop that you saw before. And fall damage hasn't been introduced. Gotta do it. Kinda have to. But yeah, so you go through here again, and now if you progress up there, you will see the candle again. A very weird candle, I know. And the gate is now open. And there's a bug with the gates, with the elevators, which I fixed literally right after this. Well, yeah, that's the build at this point. So here's some very specific things left to do for the game in order to get it into a minimum viable product, I would say. One of them is texturing items and generally adding more items. This is more miscellaneous things you would find around in the maps. I don't have any examples right now, but I think it would be stuff like books, vases, stuff like that. Equipment would be more weapons, more armor, and just a general equipment system, because right now you spawn with that sword, but I want it to be that you can find better gear, and it's going to be a pretty linear progression where you only find kind of better things, because I don't want it to be like an RPG. I just want it to be like a straight game. I don't know, but it's probably going to be pretty linear. Fall damage, of course, I gotta need it, but I wanted to include it in a good way. One of the ways I'm thinking is I'm just gonna do that when you're not grounded for a certain amount of time, you get damage based on that, and it's like it has like a threshold and stuff like that. There are downsides to it, but I want to see kind of perhaps it's just that I get when you go kind of when you're not grounded, it will check, okay, how far is it to the ground, and then when you get grounded again, it will basically but that has a lot of problems itself, so we'll see about that. The one after that is scene switching, which loading screens, pretty basic. I don't really know how to do it. I'm really basic in how Unity works, so I have a friend who's going to help me with that, hopefully pretty soon, because we already have 3 stages. Magic runes and projectile attacks. I want a new enemy to have a projectile attack, kind of a lightning thing, similar to the I don't know what they're called, the big lumpy ones in Quake. That kind of lightning stuff I want. So I'm kind of looking to implement that, how I'm gonna do it, Map 4, I already have it sketched out. It's the first one I have actually sketched out and not just done off the cuff, so it's gonna have a bit more intricate geometry, which is gonna be interesting. And lastly, the Revenant, which is the enemy that's gonna use the ranged lightning attacks. So I'm looking forward to implementing these things. If I were to work like night and day on it, I think I could get this stuff done in about a week. No, I would get probably less time than that. But I want to get it good, and I want to take my time. So again, probably a bit more than a week, because I have a lot of schoolwork and stuff like that. But hey, thank you for watching the video. Please consider watching the first one if you want to see where the game is going, and it's going to be in a playlist as well, so yeah, but subscribe if you want to see kind of where it goes from here. It's going to be interesting. I'm really looking forward to actually completing this game, and hopefully you guys are as well. Please ask any questions in the comments below, and I will try answering them in the next video. But yeah, thank you for watching.